during the credits back from Andy.
It's okay.
Taking it back.
Welcome to episode 173.
Fireworks.
There's no fireworks at all. I have no.
Baby, you're a firework. So
I don't.
Come and let
I
your
don't have
colors
any.
burn
No,
Go
I don't.
high.
I don't have any budget for
High.
fireworks.
as you shoot across the sky.
No, Katy Perry. No.
Kim Jong-un
Said no one
disappearance.
never.
Yeah, everyone loves Katy Perry.
She is catchy.
Except Russell Brand.
Yes. Oh, well. Oh, well.
I loved his logic that having sex with one woman is just almost like having sex with zero, so fuck it. And got divorced. That was his literal explanation for why he wanted to get divorced, was because one is almost zero.
Well,
Where's
you
Russell
know.
Brand now?
It's honest. It's honest.
He's in England. He's doing things.
Doing big fat quizzes.
Boom.
All right. Well,
Announcements?
we should probably announce who we are.
I'm Brian.
Nathan.
Surprise. Spoilers.
Mandy.
That's
Tongue,
us.
that's Catbug.
Boop.
I can see the handprint on his face.
He's a
That's
delicate
how you
flower.
know I respect him, was when you can see a handprint on someone's face. That means someone respects him.
or didn't show enough respect. Oh! Oh!
I realized I went the wrong
could
way
be-
with that.
That could be either way. That could be anybody. It
Yes.
doesn't- Yes.
That is true. That is
Yeah.
true. You can slap anyone.
Yes.
I mean, physically, it's possible. There are many people you shouldn't slap.
You
Like,
can, you can walk up
your
and like set the
grandma.
rock. I mean,
Yeah.
what happens after that may not end well for you, but you can do
173,
it.
the episode we get taken off there.
the rock. I heard a rock.
No.
I'm like, I guess you can. And they're like, then it'll be bad for you. I'm like, why? It's just a rock. I didn't hear the capital R, and the article was wrong.
I don't know. I think if you walk up a random rock in the street and slapped it, he might have friends.
It might.
You don't know.
Come for you. Grignac.
Boom.
That's a reference.
That is a reference, yes, and I know exactly what the reference is.
And the movie's amazing.
Maybe.
Fuck you. Not even.
I
Not
just-
even fronting. That movie's flawless.
I just wanted to get the rile.
Flawless.
Just get the rile, because that's
Boom.
how we roll.
So we have two announcements.
Two
Okay.
announcements.
3 announcements.
Okay.
What?
Next week is a Waukesha tournament for those local to us. You can go to Waukesha
Okay.
and play. And then in 2 weeks.
Hold
there's
on. No, it's happening.
What?
Next week
Oh, no, I'm so sorry.
or this week?
This week. Because there is one. I had this coming Saturday.
The 16th.
Yes.
Okay.
Is a Waukesha event. And then the
17th.
following, the
17th?
next.
Oh, yeah, because today's Sunday. Yeah, the 17th.
I had 2 events in my head, and that's why I
Okay.
screwed it up. Because I'm always on your side in that argument. I'm not Jeremy. I'm not an idiot. I just. And then the next week we have a Madison event.
So the 17th is Waukesha, and the 24th is in Madison.
Correct.
You know, Pegasus, Misty?
One of those.
Is there
two.
anything to
Misty
the
Mountain.
event?
Misty Mountain Games.
Misty Mountain Games is
Misty Mountain.
is having that. I unfortunately was originally signed up to run that. I am no longer running that. I am running a Who's the Boss event, which I believe is called Hoosier Boss.
Because it's in India.
It's in Indiana.
In India?
In India.
They're
Yes,
flying them out.
You're going into India to run a Hoosier-themed Who's the Boss.
Yes. Indiana.
Brian Kerr is going to run our local event, so it'll be chaos.
Do you know? Is it just 75-point,
Yes.
standard steamroller,
Yeah,
two-caster, etc.?
Yep.
We will have a 100-point event next month.
3 list DNC. DNC 1.
The other announcement is I know the video for Jeremy's Red podcast is out. I don't know if the actual audio is out yet.
The audio is not out yet. I have not edited that together. It is a beast of audio to edit together. I was more excited that it actually all went together seamlessly from Twitch to YouTube.
Gotcha. Well, so soon the video will be out. Or the
And-
audio, or the audio.
And we have a movie paint train up too.
Yes, we do.
Swiss Army Man.
Yep, which I finally got done. I'm starting to do editing.
Yay! We need to film more battle reports.
We need some more battle reports. The issue is finding out the time to.
In October, I'm doing the scoring episode.
Bring the camera on a Wednesday and, yeah.
Have a guest.
Filming's the easy part. It's getting people to come in.
Filming at Pegasus is a little difficult now too
Getting hard
because
now
there's
'cause they're
so
crowded.
many people there.
Yeah, it's filled.
It's something that we should probably schedule like a Saturday or something like that. But Saturdays are getting filled all the time, and then I'm running 2 podcasts on Sundays and Packer Game.
Well, the thing on a Sunday, which would be pretty easy to do on a non-Thursday double podcast day is we could record a game, early, do the audio immediately afterwards, and then you can work that way. You got the back to back that way. Because that one thing when we record on if we record on a weeknight, then we do the audio a few days later. When you do it fresh, people actually remember how they did.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, it's the ones where we 2 weeks later trying to figure out what the fuck was I doing?
I watched my game. I don't know what happened. That's me.
Right.
Why did I don't understand anything?
Yeah.
Hi, Tort. Tort's talking to at least two of us today.
We got Tort and Frank. Tort and I are still speaking to each other. I actually checked to see if Tort still had me as a signature on the Muse and Minis forums. I was wondering if he was mad at me.
He's no longer friends with you, though.
On the
Facebook.
Did he unfriend me on Facebook?
I think so.
That's fine.
I saw mutual friends. It was just Andy and Brian.
Oh.
No Nathan.
Wait, why would he be mutual friends and show you if you were already... Wait, what?
No, when he saw mutual friends, he just saw me. He didn't see you.
No. It was actually Brian and Jeremy.
And Jeremy.
Yeah.
Well, Jeremy is full of wisdom and information
That's
that makes
fine.
the world a better place and really helps things out.
That's fine. Well, that's okay.
And stuff. But that's all the announcements.
Yeah.
That's all I have.
announcements.
No, we still have War Machine Weekend coming up.
That's like 7 months from now.
Oh.
It's like 2 months from now.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell.
Less
time.
than 2 months.
That's
from now.
depressingly soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have so much to do for that, too. I
Where
have so
I-
much scheduling to do for the paint
I may
launch.
be playing War Machine that War Machine weekend.
Jim might be coming up for the War Machine
Yeah,
Weekend again.
because he likes to come and hang out.
He needs to find somebody to babysit his dog, so...
So Nathan, here's a topic. You played the one or two. We did the demo game of the others. You were there for that. You and Brian.
Yeah, with the sins. Yeah.
I played Other Seven Sins yesterday with Jim and Ben, Conan, and Dan, and I think people for the most part liked it, but they lost both games. The first game they lost because they saved the combat heroes. They took the combat heroes first, and they died, and
they had no strong backup
towards the
people.
end.
Yeah.
And so it was close. And the second game they lost, and they had to do like 2 more actions they could have won. But because Jim lost twice, he's convinced the game is impossible to beat. Because I would put if I with the others, it's a 4 versus 1 game for the listeners, and basically one person plays it. It's like a futuristic, like demons are invading the world, and represented by the 7 deadly sins, and then the players are trying to stop them, and there's different objectives, and we tried a few of the different missions out.
Yeah.
But you can when the players fight like random monsters by themselves, they just own the monsters. They just run them over and kill them. So I basically run all the monsters and I clump them together. So when they fight, there's more dice.
Of course.
And then they're like, well, when you have all these monsters together, it's like if I roll like 3 dice versus the player's 5 dice, I'm going to lose. So I try to put like 10 to 12 dice piles.
And, well, monsters help each other more than heroes help each other in general. But
Correct.
The heroes can get massive swings of power when they need to. And they got shit like a laser from space that nukes things. And, like,
Because when we played, we had someone walk into a room and like roll a bunch of dice, like 12 plus dice, and just kill the monsters. And he died, but he killed what he needed for the objective. And like in gyms, they just rolled bad, so they couldn't. Like they walk into a room, they roll their like 7 to 10 dice, and just fail to kill, then they would die. And then he would get more and more frustrated. So when it was over, I had Jim like tell me for like 45 minutes what the game is, just on fun.
Jim, when he doesn't like something, he's very subtle about it.
And I'm like, and John's played with other groups of friends, and they haven't had that kind of problem either. It's just they didn't take advantage of how to beat the thing, but of course that's the game's fault.
Sure.
And I mean, if I'd play that game another, and I've only played, I told him, like he kept saying, well, we played. Where's the Star Wars 4 versus 1 game, Imperial Assault?
Imperial Assault, yeah.
We played an entire campaign of that, and both me and Jim and mostly everyone agreed, except for the person running it, that we didn't enjoy it. But we played the 12
Mostly
missions.
because of that fatigue bullshit.
Well, there was
the GM gaming the system.
It's an error in the system that the group needs to go. If the GM's playing to win, they are optimizing their winning by using that rule that is badly balanced. But the group just needs to agree, hey, it's not fun, so don't.
Correct. But it took us quite a few games before we came to a conclusion. If I would play the others another 10 times, every single group, if no one could actually crack that, then I could see maybe there's a problem there. But I'm like, I have to play, and there's different sins and different missions, and I'm sure certain sins and certain creatures are easier or harder on certain missions. So until we
and
play,
on certain teams possibly, because there's
Exactly.
different hero teams as well, and some might be better built for certain missions.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm not going to say the game is perfect because I've only played it twice. Actually 3 times now, I guess. But I definitely am going to play it a few more weekends because I enjoy it, and a couple of players seem to have fun.
I'd like to give it a shot. I mean, Jim's like if he doesn't have a good time right away, he's done with it. Like if we went through a mission in Sentinels in the Multiverse, where we just got wiped, just flat out, just absolutely destroyed the first mission.
Yeah.
he probably would have never played it, and he plays it all the time when it comes out.
But it's weird, and maybe it's because now he's invested in the game, so individual missions fucking it doesn't do that as much. But I don't see that like in the Lord of the Rings card game, which I don't think you played as much, but you played that some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so like we'd get the Lake Town burning, and it would just murder us all instantly,
Yep.
and he'll play Lake Town 100 fucking times
Yep.
and lose every time. So
Yeah,
maybe
it
it's
was-
just that he already likes that game.
Yeah. I will say Jim is not the biggest fan of like X versus 1 type games
Sure.
and going into it, so it kind of had that against him. But I was intrigued because it's more like Descent version 1 where it's every mission's a different scenario. There's not a campaign, so it's not like Imperial Assault's a campaign, the New Descent's a campaign. I think even the Conan's more standalone missions than it is anything. And those games to me are more fun because if you could make a mission be brutal. And that way you don't need to worry about, okay, but if players carry stuff over, now I have to modify it this way or that way. Everything is just, here's the game, you play it once, you're done, and you play new scenario, it's a game, and you're able to, things you can be more wild with scenarios.
Well, yeah, because we ran into that issue. It was the biggest objection I think we had towards level 7. Which one is it? That was the many versus one. Omega Protocol?
Omega
Yes.
Protocol.
Yeah, because I think that the games, these scenarios that were balanced were really fun. I liked the mechanics of that game a lot. I think it worked really well. But the campaign, they designed it, and we talked about this, like I said before, but it obviously was designed where the first mission was supposed to be super winnable for the humans,
Yep.
and it got harder for them, but that meant for the GM, you were losing for the first 9 scenarios. And it's like, well, that's no fun. Like, this isn't a video game where you need to get easier for the team because you can't forget that somebody is playing the other side.
Yep.
And like you said, I think not just that, but a lot of campaign games do that where they feel the need to cripple the quote-unquote bad guy in the early games, and so they just don't get to have fun.
Yep.
If there was like an AI, actually, I might almost enjoy level 7 if it had an AI similar to Undercity.
Well, the first level 7 does.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I mean, like Omega
Escape,
Protocol.
I think. Yeah, Omega Protocol, sure. But
If-
Escape is that way.
Yeah. Well, Escape is more. That's not a co-op game.
Escape is kind of
Escape-
co-op-ish.
It's co-op-ish, but you're still trying to get one person. One
I guess you're
person's
right.
going
I
to
guess
want to
you're
win
right.
the game.
You're right. You're
overall.
right. You're right.
You're going to be like, okay, there's an alien there. Well, I'm sorry, Nathan. I'm going to push you into the alien.
That is fair. Yeah.
But yeah, so I like, and I guess non-Euclidean Nick has also played others and seems positive on it. You, as a GM, yeah, because if you have to go all out, and the game is very balanced. Like the players do an action, then the GM can react in certain ways, and it's very strict how he does things. And I've enjoyed it. And I like the different missions. I'm looking forward to playing it some more with more people. But I really thought that it's a pretty neat game with my.
Well, my two caveats for playing that have been resolved. I think Jim's
Yes.
not going to play it ever again.
Yep.
I don't know if Jeremy will be around to play it, but so
Yeah.
I'll be willing to play it now.
Well, also Jim's caveat is he doesn't want to play game. He doesn't play games with Jim where it's a competitive game or a cooperative game.
Or with Jeremy.
With Jeremy, I'm sorry. Yeah, Jim's like, I'll play with Jeremy as long as it's not like a competitive or a cooperative game. I'm like, oh, so you no longer want to play with Jeremy. He's very clever.
Yeah, I'm not. That's not leaving a lot of loopholes.
It was.
I mean, if there's games where nobody wins,
And there's no kind of free for all format. He might do. Actually, he definitely said he doesn't want any kind of free for all games with Jeremy. Well, Jeremy's turn 1 strategy is to attack every neighbor and then get mad when people gang up on him.
yes,
That's a strategy in every war game.
And then let everybody know about it for the rest of the game.
It's like, what happens when I just poke this guy in the eye? Oh, what? Now he's mad at me. What? How dare you fucking be mad at me? It was just your eye. I mean, you have 2 of them.
Why
you
is
idiot.
everyone picking on me? I'm losing. And then, like, the last round of the game, he surges up super far. 'Cause
well, it's like
he's
I
playing
still
the
like
side game.
that game of Game of Thrones that we played.
Yeah.
We're like in the first second or turn or whatever.
It was the first turn.
It was the very first turn. Like I put a consolidated power out there, and he rated it, and he's like, "Well, there's no reason for me not to." And I'm like, "Well, it's true that it gains you a power as opposed to not doing it doesn't. But what it also does is makes me furious, and now I'll attack you for the rest of the game."
Yeah.
And in his brain,
That didn't click.
that just never clicks.
Yeah.
He's like, "Well, I might. Well, oh, is this your free wallet? I'll just take that." And it's like, "Well, okay, now I'm angry." Like he's just like, "Yeah, but it was really easy to just take that wallet. I
Yeah,
don't
when you're
understand
playing-
why I
when
wouldn't."
you're- In Game of Thrones is the closest game. It's the closest board game to me that's like diplomacy because the Game of Thrones, the factions don't start off equally and the borders are different. So there's a lot of things that's very delicate in Game of Thrones, and to make something to create hostility is not something you need to do in that game.
Right.
Like in a Forbidden Stars, everyone's basically equal. You're different, but you have the same, starting zones and the same things. But yeah, so when someone's just weird like that, it's odd.
Yep.
But yeah, so our gaming group, I like playing with them, but every so often I just want to strangle everyone in it.
Well, that's true of any group.
That's true. I mean, yes, that's what.
Like, everyone if you think about it, has one thing that makes you just want to hit them with a hammer.
I can't stop standing when I play board games. It drives me nuts.
That you can't stop standing?
Yeah, I'm playing a board game and I can't sit. It's a weird condition.
Just get a shorter table.
I don't know, or something. Or I'll get a bigger table.
No, get like the coffee tables that are only like a foot off the ground, and we all just sit cross-legged and kneel by them like Japanese dinner tables.
Yeah. Just watch everyone just be in pain after. Let's do that, and let's play Risk.
Well,
or Axis and Allies. We'll do that. 6 hours sitting in a kneeling position.
Yeah, it's good for you.
No.
There you go. It's good for your knees.
No,
like I think the Japanese have knees like freaking Superman because they do that.
Because they play Axis and Allies. What faction do they take?
The original Axis and Allies, the Allies should never lose. Just for what it's worth. It's a true story.
Boom.
It'd be a pretty boring game. It's like, So
it's kind of funny because when you first start playing it, like as a kid, the Axis always win because they look stronger, and then you're like, wait, so America can just fly their planes into Russia and sit them there? And it's like, oh, okay, that works, and then the Allies should never lose. Because England and America just drop like 12 fighters just right there on Caucasus, and they just win.
Boom.
Sorry.
I was agreeing with you. I was like, boom, knowledge drop.
I just realized I want a new board game. I want a new board game that is similar to Axis and Allies, where you know what the result is, the real world result. I want a board game of Titanic versus Iceberg. It's just a straight line board game with just a dot. And you roll a d6 to see how fast the Titanic goes,
and then when it gets to the iceberg, it sinks.
And then it sinks, and then that's the game.
Hooray!
Hooray! Let's kickstart this.
I guarantee people would buy it.
Well, you'd have to add a secondary mechanic of how many people you can save or kill in the process. How many
that would be the expansion, because you have the straight line into the iceberg, and the expansion is a board that sits on the side. Then you get to...
Can you kill Rose in time?
The expansion is a plank of wood and 2 dolls, and you have to see if you can balance the 2 dolls on the plank of wood.
You always can, but you never do.
Right.
with similar gameplay mechanics as Survive.
Sure. Yeah.
So they just have the Titanic, and then you just have to jump them into the water, but they can't be in the water for more than 1 turn or 2 turns, or something like that. You have an ice die that you roll to see if they just freeze to death.
I think Travis just made a Rick and Morty reference to the Titanic failing to sink when they go to have the Titanic experience, and the unsinkable fake Titanic goes off the rails and doesn't hit the iceberg and refuses to sink, and everybody panics.
Yep.
God, that movie's good.
I want to make this game now. It sounds like awesome.
You make your Titanic versus iceberg game. That'll be
it's
great.
Too bad. It's too bad we didn't think of this last year, because we could have released it on the 100-year anniversary. Or was it 1912? No, it was 16, wasn't it?
Oh.
When did?
And we can expand off. We can do the Lusitania. We can do all kinds of...
have like another. Wait, no. You can have the whole water.
The one from Great Lakes.
Yeah, the Edmund Fitzgerald.
Yep. Oh, yeah. No,
it has its own soundtrack.
It does.
I was thinking of the boat that came to help the Titanic.
No.
I can't remember the name of that ship.
The Lusitania is the one in World War I that the Germans really didn't want to sink. Like, they put an ad out in the paper saying, please don't make us sink you. And we're like, no, we're going to make you sink it. Oh, look, everybody died. Oops.
No, the ship...
What?
It was before we agreed. We hadn't officially joined the war, but we still supported the side we ended up joining because, we hated the Germans. And so we were smuggling weaponry to them. And the way we were doing it was just shoving a shitload of weapons in the cargo hold of cruise ships. And so people would go on a cruise over to England, and then they'd get off to vacation, and then they'd unload all the weapons and tanks. And the British weren't stupid. They knew that was happening. And so they literally put an ad in the New York Times saying, do not get on the Lusitania. We know the Lusitania has weapons on it. We will sink the Lusitania, and if you're on the Lusitania, you will die.
You mean the Germans?
Or the Germans, yeah, the Germans did that. The Germans put a paper, an article, like a full-page ad, saying, don't get on the Lusitania, we're totally going to sink it. And then they totally sank it, and everybody died.
That's hilarious.
Yes. I mean, less so if you were on the Lusitania.
No, well, only less hilarious if you saw the ad and ignored it. If you didn't see the ad, then I can still see tragedy. If you saw the ad and went on it, then you deserve to be.
Or it has the other awkward moment that the water it sank in was shallower than the length of the boat, so it sank like halfway and then just stuck in the mud, sticking out of the water.
Or it could have been like this then too, as you're on your first day of your journey on the Lusitania. As the newspaper at the front of your door has got the article in it.
Yeah. You just grab it on the way on the boat, you get on the boat, and you're saying, like, time to relax. Fuck.
See, that guy I feel sorry for. That would be me.
Sitting on your lounge chair.
Can we turn around? I forgot something.
Has anyone else seen this? Am I the...
What?
I'm writing down in my Titanic game because I need to make this.
Okay. Sounds good.
You should always write down ideas.
Write down ideas. That's how I got boned out of an idea. There was $1 million idea, and then they did it later, and then it failed. So I guess I shouldn't feel bad that I didn't do it, but I still say it's a good idea. And it's
draw the boat.
not the build your woodworking thing that I said a couple weeks ago.
And the boat, and here's the iceberg.
Sure. Are you going to make it so that... See, there has to be a square like here, because you have to veer to miss the iceberg, and that's what makes you hit the iceberg and sink. If you want historical accuracy, or just don't.
Well, you could have like a path that looks like it's going to turn
Sure,
or something like
sure.
that. But
Or,
it's just
or have multiple paths, but they all lead to the
Yeah,
iceberg.
it's choose your own adventure, and just everything leads.
Choose your adventure.
Choose your own adventure.
It's a deck of cards. It's a deck of cards that say just go straight.
Yeah. Yes. You got a hand, play a card, draw a replacement card. So it's like Wings of Glory, and you're just like, I'm going to go straight. I'm going to go straight.
Yeah. Playing out. It's
the
6
most
actions.
boring game of Robo Rally ever.
Yes.
It's 6 actions to reach the iceberg. So you get to draw 7 cards, and you get to
Yeah, exactly.
and then you plan out the actions. And then I was thinking like an expansion board.
You kickstart it, you'll make money.
Expansion board.
Hindenburg
over
versus
here.
Titanic.
Hindenburg versus Titanic.
The what?
The Hindenburg versus the Titanic.
Ooh.
I'd see that movie.
Explosion at sea.
Yeah. Oh my God! The freaking fidget cube on Kickstarter. That's over $1 million.
So,
It's like, oh my God!
I like
how am
the
I
idea
not
of
a
it.
millionaire?
I like the idea of it, but I hate the idea that it makes noises.
I haven't seen the fidget cube.
So it's a cube.
Okay.
You know, larger than a D6.
The cube
maybe
you
an
go
inch on
into
each
and
side.
die if you don't know math.
Yeah, that one.
Okay.
You have to be autistic. No, so
Wait,
it's
what?
The movie Cube.
What?
There's a movie called Cube.
And
Gleaming the Cube? The skateboarding
yeah,
movie?
Hypercube.
Yeah, they skateboard in the cube.
Okay.
There's like a little skate ramp and so on.
Can't hurt.
It's a cube, and on one side it has like the directional pad from a PlayStation, basically.
Sure.
And another pad it has like buttons you can click like a pen. Another side has like dials you spin. Another side has like each side has something that you can fidget with.
Okay.
And that's it. It's just a cube that has different versions of things to fidget with, and it's like over $1 million on Kickstarter right now.
Nice.
It's $20 per cube to get a cube.
Interesting. I mean, I sit at my desk and I have like a stress ball because
Sure,
sometimes I need
right? Yeah, I mean, it kind of makes sense, like it's a thing. And yeah, so some of the side, like for example, the clicker side has 5 buttons similar to a pen button, and like 3 of them are silent and 2 of them click.
Okay.
Or like there's one side that has what looks like a light switch, and Jesus, at $3 million toward? Fuck, it was at like $700,000 last I checked, but that was like a week ago before it hit Facebook. So it makes sense that it
swirly thing on
exploded.
it?
Yeah. So one side is swirly like a dial. One side is slidey like a directional pad. One side is like actual dials that just spin. One side is the clickies. One side is like a light switch, and then the 6th side just has a groove that you can rub your thumb inside of like a worry stone.
Something like that, though, you have to be when you're making something like that. You have to be like, oh my! At some point, if you make too much from a Kickstarter, you know you're fucked. It's like, well, because you only scale so high for some of these people. So we'll see if it's one of those Kickstarters that kills themselves because it's too popular. He's like, maybe they'll get a few $1,000s.
Yeah, so there's the Titanic deck that's all just go straight cards, and then every round you flip over an iceberg deck to show you what the iceberg does, and they all just say hold.
Actually, it wouldn't be that bad of a game where if it was like an iceberg and a Titanic, and the idea is to ram into them.
See, So it's just like a chase game where the Titanic's trying to hunt down the iceberg?
Or no, the iceberg's trying to hunt down the Titanic.
Oh, that's what I meant, yeah. God, I am so spacey today. I'm saying nothing correctly.
I'm doing it.
It's still a better game than Cards Against Humanity.
Yes.
That's true.
But I like the expansion idea then too, like survive. So then you have try to people get.
You can have a whole series, man. You
Yeah.
do the Titanic, you do the Lusitania, you do the Hindenburg,
Well,
do the Challenger.
I was thinking
Just a whole series of games where you just have unavoidable disasters.
Well, I mean,
the third game into Titanic versus Iceberg would be the rescue ship. That
Yeah.
would be added on to the board itself, and then if you can get your guys to the rescue ship.
see, I don't like
And then you get more
that people
points.
might not just die.
Well, and people didn't all the entire. Yes.
Yeah, see, that's why I don't like the Titanic as much. I like the Hood because basically everybody died. I don't go for number of dead, I go for percentage of dead. And in fact, that was it 2 or 3 that survived the Hood? I think it was just 2.
I don't remember.
Because it would have been 100%, but then the boiler exploded, and 2 or 3 guys who were in the water above it were literally rocketed out of the water by the concussive blast of the boiler. I think it was 2 guys, but see, that's efficiency. You know, the Germans knew how to kill 99.9% of people on a boat. Icebergs top out at like 70%.
Stupid icebergs.
Seriously,
Yeah.
and the poor Bismarck.
Das Boot. Poor submarine.
But that's a great fucking movie.
It is.
by the
It
way.
has some of the best music in the world.
That is such a good movie.
Only 3 survived.
It was 3.
On the-
Okay,
yeah.
it was 3. Yeah. Fun.
All right, that's a topic.
Well, you weren't at Rikio Rumble, so we can't talk about that. Do you own Betrayal at House on the Hill?
No.
How does nobody in our group own that game?
I've heard good things about it.
Yeah,
It's
maybe
just
I'll see if I can pick up a copy of that because our group should have that.
When I've been at the previous Rebels, it didn't really, like, board games were kind of sporadic when they would come out. It was a lot more like Hearthstone, and people were playing a lot of video games, and there was a lot of Diablo being played, and there was some really old, goofy Harry Potter card games.
Yeah, I won the Harry Potter tournament
Yeah.
this year. I'm 3-0 lifetime in Harry Potter.
It didn't really come around like just actual board game, a lot of board games. So, or if they were like the kitten one, the exploding kitten.
Yeah, no, we avoided that. We played.
Did you actually play it at all? Exploding Kittens?
I did not. So I got there. They were wrapping up their Hearthstone tournament, and then we did a Magic the Gathering and a Harry Potter tournament. They taught me Harry Potter. I won all 3 games. I retire undefeated with my trophy now. And then we played some like a little light stuff. It was like One Night Alternate Werewolf. We played Total Recall, and then we played a little bit of heavier, nothing heavy. Like we played the Betrayal at House on the Hill, and then there's a game I bought when I was out in Virginia called Costa Rica that actually was a lot of fun. I actually really enjoyed it. I'm glad I blind bought it. You might like it. But, yeah, so there was some board game. Mostly we just watched Rick and Morty and ate.
Yeah.
You're moving the whole table, right?
Boom, boom, boom. I'm twitchy.
We need to get you a fidget cube. You are just dry humping the table leg.
That's my.
No.
I did not need to know that that's your sexual technique. Just strangling and grunting.
Yeah. That's pretty much the whole move.
Oh yeah, though that's. I saw that Kama Sutra. Strangle, grunt, and shake.
It's on the bonus page. It's on the.
Travis is not part of the group. He doesn't come to game with us, so
Well,
he stated that he owns House on Haunted Hill.
Which is great, and he can bring it when we're together, but he lives, an hour and a half away. It's not like we just play games with him weekly.
Yeah, he should move closer.
He should just be closer or come here. He's not an hour and a half away. It's less than that.
Well, his house is a bit farther, but I mean, he's over an hour.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's about an hour and a half.
It's about an hour and 15 or so. You can get there.
Okay.
I was
I'm sorry, that's a huge enough difference. You win.
from DeForest. It's only 10 minutes though.
Yeah, from DeForest, it's like a 10-minute drive. Like, he basically lives in DeForest. When I lived in DeForest, I should have visited him on my lunch break.
Yes.
But
Should
I
have.
don't anymore, so.
I've also heard that Mansions of Madness Second Edition is pretty enjoyable.
Yeah, somebody was mentioning Mansions of Madness to me, and I'm like, I don't know if they changed it.
Well,
you guys
it's run by an app. Well, I mean, we didn't like the first edition because I still think Nick taught the game wrong. That is my belief.
Too many people like the game for it to be as terrible as it was.
and I've only experienced it terribly with Nick. In second edition,
he was double daggering,
Yeah.
basically, that again.
But second edition Mansion of Madness is completely run by an app, kind of like the XCOM board game. Ben Cohen played it a few times and just loved it, and some other people I know played it and really liked it. So it's a game that I probably won't pick it up yet because I'm still trying to burrow through. Just get some games out that I haven't played as much.
Right.
But we'll see in a few months. Board games, yay!
More games. We need to do. I wanted to do a. I had a topic that I thought of, and I forgot to talk to you guys about it because I know that we've had a couple Zappity Grumbles where people asked again what are good board games, and we kind of polished them off. Not polished them off. We kind of brushed them off because. We kind of brushed them off because we'd done that episode before. But I was thinking of. I was talking to James at Pegasus, and I was talking to him about how. You know, sometimes I feel like an asshole. Specifically, I always feel like an asshole, but sometimes the reason I do it is because, Travis, we said we love you and you'd be part of the group if you were closer. It wasn't rejection. It's just your fault logistically that you're not in the group. If you live next door and we said we don't want to play games with you, then you could slash your wrists. Anyway, so the point is, like... Trevor, I always feel like an asshole, but sometimes the reason I feel like an asshole is I see people playing a game and I just think you're just wasting your life playing that game. You know, I see people playing Munchkin and I want to burn it for their sake. Like, I feel like I'm rescuing them from that, you know? But I'm not just that way with bad games. Like, I also feel that way about Agricola. Like, if I see somebody playing Agricola, I want to take it aside and I want to do an intervention. I want to sit down and say, listen, Agricola's fine, but you're wasting time because this is non-optimal board gaming time. You should be playing Caverna instead. You know, and I see people playing Munchkin, and I'm like, why aren't you playing Cutthroat Caverns instead? Yeah. And so I want to do like a play this, not that, where you think of like a popular game that people play that you think is shit, and a better version of a similar game they should play instead.
What makes that even harder is when you find 2 or 3 games that are good that are similar, and then you realize one of them just kind of fades away, even though it's not bad like those are. Yeah. It's just not the other game.
Right.
Which is sometimes difficult to overcome.
Right. Like, for example, not a board game, but Battleborn versus Overwatch. You know, yeah. I think they were both really good games, but Battleborn is just, you know, not Overwatch.
Yeah. And and I occasionally, like, when I get rid of a board game, more often than not, it's because it's too similar to other games I like. I very rarely get a game, because I do enough research before I buy a game most of the time that I'm like, I'm confident, you know, I'll know it'll be good. But then I go, crap, this game is just like, you know, my other 2 games are just like it. So one of them is going to eventually get off my shelf.
All right. So do you have a? I'll go with. I mean, we can do a quick. I don't know if we want to do that later, but I'll go with Munchkin and Cutthroat Caverns.
That's a good example.
I think that and I think Cutthroat Caverns is obscure enough, and it's pretty analogous because the whole point of Munchkin is you're slaying monsters and you're trying to get the victory points and you're trying to fuck each other over because whoever gets the most victory points fighting the monsters wins. And that's the exact mechanic of Cutthroat Caverns, but it has a built-in clock, which means you never play it for 3 goddamn hours. It's a lot better balanced mechanically, and I just think it's a far, far better game. It doesn't have the goofy artwork, I guess, and, you know, you can't play with 10 people who are all... Well, I don't know. It's just... I think as a game, it's 1,000 times better, and you should always play it instead of Munchkin.
And it does have a end time, which is important.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I've never played Munchkin, so I have no real horse in this race.
Yeah.
But from what I've heard is it's not really the game... It's the players playing the game that make it really long.
But here's the issue. So you've played Cutthroat Caverns, okay?
No.
We played that. We played that back. This is back when you, me, and Jim were together. We played that.
You've played Boss Monster, okay?
Yes.
Now imagine Boss Monster.
Yeah.
Where there's infinite heroes, and there are incredibly easy mechanics to eliminate victory points from other people's piles.
Sure.
And players can't be killed.
Sure.
So you can never lose, but every time you're at 9 of the 10 souls you need to win, I just eliminate 3 of your souls.
I've played this game. It's called Illuminati with Jim playing the assassins.
That's what it is.
Illuminati and Munchkin would be similar in that regard.
But there's no player elimination, but every time someone gets close to winning, you can directly fuck over their victory point pile to cripple them back to not being anywhere near winning. And then when you get close, everybody cripples you, and then when he gets close, everybody cripples him, and it just goes for infinite time. Because there's no way to end it.
For a second, I thought you were describing Cutthroat Caverns. I'm like, that is not correct at all.
No, that's Munchkin. Cutthroat Caverns, like, there's 8 monsters, go.
Sure.
After 8, you know, it's the hero limit in Boss Monster. You know, and there's player elimination. And Cutthroat Caverns is just a way, way better version of that same concept.
And I love the mechanic in Cutthroat Caverns because when you start the game, if you have 4 players, whenever you flip a monster over, it has difficulty based on the number of players the game starts with. But
not current players, starting players.
When you leave, whoever gets out at the end with the most money wins. So when you know that someone's ahead of you, you try to sabotage them and have a monster kill them, but then the next monster's tougher. Yeah. It gets really fascinating.
Like, oh, Eddie's winning. Let's just throw him in the dragon's mouth. Now he's not going to win, but the next dragon's stronger because we're down a guy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a very clever mechanic. It's a game I really like. I own the core, and it's got some neat expansions. I haven't really dabbled
I own the core in one of the expansions. I thought about buying a shitload more because I really did enjoy it, but I just never get a chance to play it much. But it's, that's my play this, not that. Play Cutthroat Caverns, not Munchkin.
I don't know what would be don't play Catan, but play something else. Catan's a pretty good intro game for many people, and it's not necessarily bad, but it has that annoying mechanic where you can, when you trade, you can just give X things to certain people.
Yeah.
So when someone gets ahead, either A, someone's dumb and they trade them the game away, or they don't.
Or nobody trades with them and they don't get to play the game.
And then they're out of the game, which is both those mechanics are dumb. But I can't think of a good, because you want to keep another game to be simple.
Tort mentioned another game that's similar to Munchkin but better is Let's Kill, which is a fun trivia fact. Let's Kill was designed by a buddy of mine here in Madison. Not Brett Myers, a different Madisonian. You know my buddy Andrew Shalou, the mathematician that came up and visited a couple times? Yes. Anyway, one of his SCA friends named Aaron, his SCA name is Chandler, but he's the one who did Let's Kill. Oh. Also, there's a card called Gas-Powered Weed Whacker, and there's clearly a cord in the picture, but that's fine. Go on.
That's acceptable. Yeah, I can't think what would be I can't think what would a better version of Catan would be. Would that be a game that I think... Because people use it as an intro game all the time, and I'm like, hey, it's got some really other mechanics in it that,
It introduces you to those European style mechanics.
It does. Yeah. I'd say Caverna, but that's probably a step too far.
Yes. And I don't know, it's not as like apples to apples to Catan as that. Not. Like you want like some game with commodity trading and resource building.
Yeah, there's that game that the Shays have,
Copernica?
Cornucopia.
Cornucopia. That's not the name either. We call it Cornucopia, but it's not actually Cornucopia.
Oh, it's not called Cornucopia?
No, it's
called
Caverna?
No,
Capricola, Cannibal the
that's
musical.
Still too much. But that's got resource generation. It's hard for a game as simple as Catan to be something else. I don't know if there's a good. There should be if there's not. Ticket to Ride.
You are flailing, man. You're in a spiral.
Yeah, I don't cut to me because I have no.
Small World. Not at all.
Concordia. Yeah, it's not including
Concordia is a great game, but it's probably still a step too far from Caverna. Not Caverna.
So this whole topic is just play Cutthroat Caverns instead of Munchkin.
You should just play Caverna.
Fine. That was my example about a future topic. So maybe next year...
Next year? Yes, next year.
Maybe next episode we can all have one or two examples.
I block bad games out and just play better games. So I have to remember the bad game. I remember them when I see a box and I go, no, bad. I might not remember why, but I just know bad.
Fair.
I think for my example would be is you play Survive, which you have an island that's sinking, and I think a better version of that game is Titanic versus Iceberg.
That is true. It is strictly superior.
Strictly superior.
Well, because Survive doesn't have the initial shipwreck mechanic.
Yeah, you don't know what happens to the island. I mean, I guess there's a volcano exploding, and that's why it's sinking. But
have either of you ever played Lifeboat?
No.
Lifeboat's an interesting game because there are it can be your post Titanic thing. Like you can rip it off for the expansion of this, but you start with like you each have 3 or 4 guys and they're in a few different lifeboats, and the lifeboats are like trying to go to safe land.
So like Dead of Winter.
But you can jump off the boats and swim to the other boats, and so you're trying to like throw people overboard and get all your guys onto the boats as the other boats sink. It's very cutthroat. It's amazing.
My only idea would be don't play Werewolf, play Ultimate Night One Werewolf.
Sure. Or
No. Don't play Werewolf. Play 2 Rooms and a Boom.
Sure. 2 Rooms and Boom, I think, is a better Werewolf. Yeah. I mean, One Night Ultimate that also has an app on it too.
Yeah, and it's literally done and around. And I mean, it's more, and there's logic to it, and there's like.
Both of your answers share the things that I've said I hate about Werewolf, which is the lack of any information gathering and the random player elimination. Yeah. And neither of those have player elimination, and both of those have ways to actually gain information, so it's more of an intelligent game.
Or Resistance.
Yeah. So those are definitely like don't play Werewolf, play Resistance, One Night Ultimate Werewolf, 2 Rooms and a Boom.
Play games that don't turn people out.
Let's kill Hitler.
Don't kick people out of
Hitler.
Secret Hitler.
Secret Hitler.
I've heard Secret Hitler's good. I haven't played it, but I've heard that's good.
Nate, newbie likes it, so I'm torn.
It's probably not good then. But yeah.
But yeah, play.
Literally, the first thing that happens in Werewolf is somebody is kicked out of the game. It's the first thing that happens in Werewolf. And I'll tell you, as somebody who's known for being sneaky in those kinds of games, half the time when I try to play a Werewolf, I just don't get to play anyway. So even if I wanted to play a Werewolf, I can't.
Yeah, I really hate player elimination. That's what sucks about a lot of the older games. The classic board games and that are just player elimination. Like, well, I'm gonna say a bunch of horrible examples like Monopoly, Axis and Allies. When you're eliminated, you're just gone, and then everyone else gets to play.
The danger for the games who don't have elimination, like Ultimate Werewolf and Dooms and the Boom don't have this problem, but there's our board games that don't have player elimination that probably should.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Because I mean, you could be in a place in a game where you're like, well, I can't win. All I can do is fuck someone else over, and then you're not happy. They're not happy. The person we fucked over is not there's the balancing act sometimes in some of those games.
So sadly, two of the games that I do enjoy playing, which are two card games, Boss Monster and Epic Spell Wars of the Battle Wizards, Duel at Moat Skullsfire. Those games have player elimination, but Boss Monster is usually pretty short.
Yeah,
for
and usually you get eliminated way towards the end. It's hard to get eliminated early in Boss Monster.
You'll have to have some very bad luck.
It's a half-hour game, and you're not getting eliminated before minute 25.
You could with some
unlikely.
really bad luck.
A player elimination like Suro is fine because the game's 5 minutes long.
Yeah,
total.
Yeah, Suro is very easy.
What's that game called that you always brig Nathan in? I can't think of the.
Travis always gets brigged in Dark Moon.
Dark Moon.
Yeah.
That's a fun game.
Yeah, I like Dark Moon a lot. I would love to play it more to see if I like it better than Battlestar. But
I just remembered the worst thing that happened in the world on Friday. I know people are sad about the anniversary of today, but on Friday, Games Workshop and in Fantasy Flight Games, don't have their partnership anymore.
Ended their partnership.
Right. Yep.
Which has ruined all hopes and dreams of another Forbidden Stars expansion.
Well, So I don't know all the full details, but I thought it was so that GW could get their IPs back so that they could charge through the nose for individual games, basically.
They're separating. They're just going their separate ways.
Separating their businesses.
No, I understand, but that doesn't mean that 5 years from now GW can't say, well, give us enough money and we'll let you do Forbidden Stars and only Forbidden Stars again.
It's theoretically possible, but I mean...
I thought that was their plan, was to do individual games as opposed to IP partnerships.
Yeah.
And so there might be more games that are partnership on a 1x1, so you can't give up all hope of Forbidden Stars.
Currently, I'm in the all hope is lost phase. Okay. Maybe that's not true, and that'd be exciting. But
I think it would be, if those games are actually decent money makers for Fantasy Flight. They don't own the IPs for them, but they do own the mechanics.
Right.
So basically, like similar to StarCraft, Forbidden Stars could be just reskinned again.
Yeah.
Well, something that's their property.
Yep.
Like
and they even did it specifically with another example. The correct example for that, because it is a Fantasy Flight game, was Dune.
Mm-hmm.
They took their IP, the Twilight Imperium mythos, and they just slapped it on Dune, and that's Twilight Imperium Rex.
Okay.
That's literally Dune.
Okay.
With 2 or 3 mechanics changed, but it's the same game.
And Turk brought up Axis and Allies. I mean, really, StarCraft, Forbidden Stars, they're all better versions of Axis and Allies.
Heck, even Axis and Allies is better than other Axis and Allies. Like the newer editions are like Europe or Pacific over the original one. Like they made so many improvements on re-releases that the classic one is pretty garbage. Yeah, there's a lot of drawing games that are better than like Pictionary.
Things that we talked about too on Friday about this too is like some of the really good games that are not going to be made anymore. It's like Blood Bowl Team Manager.
Yeah,
that's gone. I mean,
I'm glad I got all that. Luckily, I have all the games from them you should pick up the Warhammer Quest card game expansions that are out.
I'll do that, and I need to pick up the expansions for Blood Bowl as well because I think I don't have the. I think there was a Necromantic one that came out
next month.
I have a Blood Bowl Team Manager expansion, but I don't own Blood Bowl Team Manager.
I think it's one I already own.
Okay.
I think you got it at a prize thing, and you were like, hey,
2 Adepticons ago, a guy came in with a cart and just started throwing games at people. He was literally just throwing games at people off of like a room service cart. and I got the Blood Bowl Team Manager expansion.
Nice.
I'll double check that, but I think
I think mine has like mummies and shit.
Tori has good
I
taste.
might
He
not have it.
I don't know. I'll check when I get home.
Tori was made a positive comment about StarCraft, the board game, so always.
Scythe and StarCraft, they're both very good games. StarCraft is the first mainstream deck building game.
Yeah. I'm gonna set up some board games in Madison next month again. Like we have multiple weeks in a row of miniature of War Machine, but in October I'm gonna set up a nice board game weekend again. I'm gonna try to bring out StarCraft, and I'm gonna bring out Fury Dracula next month.
I wanted to do a board game weekend that was themed around hidden trader mechanic games because I wanted to see Battlestar or Dark Moon. If we have Betrayal at House on the Hill, because Travis could bring it, and even lighter ones like like Resistance and stuff like that, or Saboteur is a little like 10-minute card game that has a hidden trader. Junta doesn't have a hidden trader. Junta is just everybody stab each other.
Everyone's a trader.
It's 6 public traders.
Yes.
That's a little different. But because I found that I really dig that mechanic, and so I thought that would be a cool weekend to have. Just play a shitload of hidden trader
Shadows
games.
over Camelot?
Yeah. Shadows over Camelot. Yeah.
I think Avalon has got that too. There's an expansion or part of the Kickstarter had a Mordred character in there too.
Yeah, non-Euclidean Nick has the first edition Fury of Dracula. I have the second edition Fury of Dracula, and you have the third edition.
I
Fury of
really
Dracula.
like. I've played every edition of that game, and I like them all. I mean, I really like. They made some subtly nice changes to the new one. All versions of the game take 3.5 hours to play.
That's the warning, is for some reason, and even I forget it when it's been a while since I've played it, but like when we played at War Machine Weekend last year, it's like, oh, we'll play Fury of Dracula, a nice, 90-minute game, and then 2.5 hours later, that's right, this game actually takes 3 fucking hours. So it's important, because Jeremy was not happy that it took 3 hours.
No, he was not. And I don't mind that about the other one, but I do remember that about the game. It's a 3-hour game, and that's the kind of game where you have to be like, this is our day. Like, we can't on our weekly Tuesday night game. We can't play that on a Tuesday night.
You could if you start at 5.
Yeah, but
But
that'd
then
be
not
hard.
eat or do anything. You just play it straight.
And you have to really play quickly. With a 3-hour game, at that point, you're so invested, you almost would rather take 4 hours and just take your time with it and just shoot the shit for an hour of random not caring within it. But
well, I set up like the others on yesterday, which was we knew it would be just that game, so we took a more casual approach because we weren't rushing to play other games, which was kind of helpful. And that's what like those weekend games. I'm like, we're getting together to play this, but there's like Scotland Yard is a great game. That is the 60-minute version of Fury Dracula. It's a lot less to it, of course. It's 60 minutes, but it's like Dark Moon and Battlestar. I like both games, but there are days where I want that 3-hour experience of Battlestar. But there's days where I just
if you want a 6-hour experience, you just put in the new Caprica expansion and waste 3 hours of your life.
Well, there's even another expansion where it's kind of like you have to. I have never even played with the latest version where you have to like go all the way to Earth, and it's got at least like all this other things that happen and missions achieved.
Christ.
But yeah,
and it turns out it was all a dream, or
what was that dream?
Old Earth, and
what's happening?
So remember we played Age of Renaissance. That like we played on the so it was like a 6-hour long game with the chits and everything like that. That's the short version of Advanced Civilization, which I just did print and play and built my own copy of that game, and that's a nice quick 10 to 13 hour game. So I was going to look to try to get people to play that sometime. It's a picture of Blood Bowl.
On Guild Ball, Matt.
No, that's a Blood Bowl, Matt.
Like
that's a new board for Blood Bowl. That's a new miniatures for Blood Bowl.
Oh, they're not very close up though.
Nifty.
Yeah, Nick made a good point that another thing with others, it is about a 90-minute game, which is nice.
Yeah,
it's nice. Like I said, I love those 3-hour games, and I love to like plan it for on a weekend to play like maybe 2 big games all day. Like War of the Ring is like when we did play War of the Ring, we always did back to back, and it was a good couple hours per playthrough.
Yeah,
it's just good to have those big moments where you're like, boom, it's my Saturday.
Yep.
But some of you guys work, or you're like sitting with others, like I want to do stuff with you. You can't go play board games.
Well, if I was rich and single, you and I would play a lot more board games.
We would, but you failed me on 2 accounts.
I have failed many people on way more accounts than that, but those are your 2. Is that I'm poor and married.
I could probably deal with one of those problems, but both of them together just make it difficult.
Wah, wah.
I visited my mom today, and she always tells me what's going on, where she lives, and what because she made some new friends and all these stuff. She's like, well, what do, Brian? I'm like, well, I played some video games last week. Well, what else? I played some board games. What else? I watch some
Nothing.
TV.
Yeah.
That's probably the perfect life, Mom. I don't have any stories. I just, it's
Yeah. A nice, boring life.
yeah, that's all you want. I have coworkers. All they want to do is they want to retire to reach what I'm doing. I'm basically retiring, but I work a few hours a day, where they just are going constantly. They say they love their kids, but man, do they love coming to work? Like they just love going to work because they're away from their family. That is like the highlight of the highlight of their week is being at work, so they're away from the nonsense of home.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, you guys made smart choices. But that's me. Anyway, last Friday's coming out really soon. That's basically the same length of what was that? I can't think of the name. I mentioned Sherlock Holmes, that Sherlock game.
Scotland Yard.
Scotland Yard.
Yeah.
But it's basically themed around like Friday the 13th, basically.
Sure.
But it's obviously not Friday the 13th because it's called.
We should play sometime because if you like that style of game, The Fury of Dracula, there's one called Garibaldi that I own that's a disturbingly accurate recreation of Garibaldi's escape from the Austrian police. And prior to this, the only thing I knew about Garibaldi was that he was a guy on Babylon 5. It turns out, sorry, but like the cards are like extremely 3:07 a.m. on the third day, such and such as horse loses one of its shoes. I'm like, why do you know that happened? Like, how do you have so much research into history that you know all those details? But it was actually kind of interesting. So I feel like those style games. Oh, and another, because Tort mentioned Access and Allies, and you mentioned Risk earlier, is my other don't play this, not that, is don't play Risk. Play
Risk Legacy.
You play Risk Legacy for 3 sessions and then never again.
We can finish that. I still have it. I still own it.
I gave it to you. I gave it back to you because it sat in this apartment forever.
I still have it. It's in my basement. But originally called Shogun, and then quickly renamed to Samurai Swords, and then recently really released as Ikaruga, I believe. Ikusuka.
Ikaruga is the PlayStation game that's
right. That's why that's in my head. It's like Ikusuka or whatever. I'll look it up. You can look it up. But
it's an amazing PlayStation game though too.
It is. But it was one of the Game Master series with Axis and Allies, Fortress America, and Shogun, then renamed to Samurai Swords, then re-released recently as a Susuka or something. Somebody in the thread will tell me what it's called. But that's a way better version of Risk. We played it one time, and then Jim lost because he rolled like 6 ones, and he said, well, this game sucks.
Yeah, I've played
it's
that.
Like, I'm sorry that one die roll you rolled 6 ones and it cost you a big battle, and so you quit the game. But
I came into that. I've played a couple times over the years. It's a fun game. Well, I mean, it's a dice game. I mean, it's a war game, and you have to go with mass odds. And he was splitting his forces to try to maximize things, and one of his dice rolls went bad, and
he did 2 50-50s, and they both failed.
Yeah,
as opposed to doing one 100%er.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. But it is. You might still not like it because it's still mass troops, move troops, roll dice, but it is a strictly better version of that than Risk is.
We need to play some Greyhawk Wars one of these days. We need to dedicate a Saturday for that.
I agree-ish, but I have fond memories of that game. It's like
that's always worrisome.
There's certain things that I did when I was younger that I haven't gone back to on purpose. Certain books I haven't reread on purpose.
Tort came through. It's Ikusa, IKUSA, is the current name of Shogun / Samurai Swords.
Yeah, very cool. And Tort is correct. I am living the dream.
Yeah.
If falling asleep crying is part of the dream, then I'm really excelling at it.
I hope it is.
That's what I strive for.
Jesus, yeah.
I've been pulling too many Nathans when I go to bed, just thinking about the end of the life ending.
Oh man,
I lose so much sleep lately.
Like I said, I spend all day thinking of other people's deaths and all night thinking of my own. I just have 2 modes: contemplate my death or hope for other people's deaths. Just back and forth, and forth.
It does fuck with sleeping pretty good though. You don't just you're about to go to bed. You go, man, I'll be dead, and then what? Then there's nothing, and that's
just
sucks.
nothing.
There's nothing,
and then you try to figure out what is nothing. Like you try to imagine nothing, and you can't.
Because I like
you imagine blackness, but that's not even nothing.
I like sleeping. I like waking. I think I like because I wake up and sometimes I feel good because I slept.
Yeah.
So do I just have that I felt good, but I don't wake up part of the nothing? Like what's?
Yeah, but if you don't wake up, how do you know that you slept?
I know,
like
and I know. I have lost way too much sleep going to bed.
What the hell's wrong with you two?
We're going to die and there's nothingness.
Yeah.
We're all dead already.
Fucking
this
nihilists.
Is a mote of dust in infinite darkness.
Goddamn
Everything's
nihilists.
useless.
It's not. I wish when I go to bed, I don't.
I don't want to think this.
No, Donnie, they were nihilists.
Nobody chooses nihilism. Like, people are like, dude, I'm a nihilist. No, you're not. Fuck you. You're emo, you're hipster, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, you haven't fully embraced the raw despair of the knowledge of everything being meaningless.
And really, what you're really thinking is, I just want to forget about all that and fall asleep.
Oh, good God, please, yes. There's that
You're
great
like-
Onion article about, like, scientists successfully teach gorilla about its own mortality. And the thing just, like, signals, like, me dead? No one dead. It's like, that's just, he just signs that over and over again for hours and just weeps. It's funny.
Yeah, I'm not going to sleep today yet. You know?
What's wrong with you people?
Oh, I just don't believe in fairy tales anymore, so that doesn't bring me comfort. It's sad. I mean, that used to be a good fallback when I was young and dumb, but that's gone.
Aesop's Fables?
Yeah.
It's the worst.
Good times. Good times.
Anyway, Zappity.
So we only had one Zappity Grumble. Are we actually going to switch over to that?
No, I don't know. Well,
We played Codenames 2 over the weekend, by the way, and I lost it for my team because I was too esoteric.
did Jeremy bring the code names with him so we had the picture stuff?
Yeah, and the picture stuff was neat. Picture stuff was kind of interesting.
I like Codenames. I don't like the... I think we were talking about it one of the last times we had Jeremy on the podcast, talking about
The
where...
clue givers?
Huh?
The clue givers?
The clue givers have to basically not be... where they can't be seen.
Yeah, they were having the clue givers literally turn around, and the other team's clue giver would put out the chits when they were correct.
Yeah.
You know, to
Yeah, basically they have, like, wear a blindfold or something like that.
I wouldn't even let the other team's clue person watch. I have them both turn around, and like once they touch, turn around. Because I would that wouldn't even work for Jim or Keith because they would still make expressions.
Yeah.
But yeah, one game that we've talked about in the past, nothing personal, the Mafia game.
Yeah.
Jeremy picked up 5 mini expansions at Gen Con, which are basically all it did was it made all the decks bigger, more mobsters, more influence cards.
Sure.
So it didn't really, it added like 3% rules and just more everything. And that game was so much more enjoyable to me because when we first play it, if a deck had, let's say, 50 cards, now a deck has 200 cards. And like the variety of what happened was so much different than like the same 7 actions happening again and again. Now you had like, you saw everything once or twice maybe. There was just this huge variance in the game and it made it much more unpredictably fun.
right.
Because in the old version, you always knew there was going to be blackmail every third time. You knew there'd be this. Like when we played, there was like, I think 2 blackmail the entire game.
Sure.
Or stuff like that. So it just added all these new, same but different elements that just made the game more fun. And
cool.
people still got mad at each other, so it was still a classic game with nothing
That's
personal.
what you want. Yeah. Yep.
We are Positive Tort. The Scoring Podcast, I don't know.
We're positive that nothing matters.
Yeah.
Does that count?
Yeah.
Fucking nihilists.
We're just honest.
I'm telling you, right when you want to go to bed, just think about death.
Yes.
It's just,
No.
I mean,
No, I'm not going to.
Just stare at the ceiling and think about the fact that... So
When I start forgetting about things of my childhood and other things and people that when I start going through those phases, then I'll think about it.
Oh, no, you have to do it now. Or think about the fact that those phases are coming up and there's nothing you can do about it. So, Codenames with War Machine and Horde's caster cards. That's kind of interesting. You would just, like, name a spell they have in common. Like Weapon Master 2, and there's the Butcher and there's Kara Sloan. That'd be kind of neat.
Yeah.
What was I going to say?
that was a very good idea, Travis.
Yeah, good job, Travis. He managed to take something that wasn't Privateer Press related and get it there.
Well, I mean,
Well, Travis would be so excited to do that too. He'd be the code giver or the clue
he
giver.
would hate
He'd be
being
like,
he would get someone would say a thing in a number, he'd get it right away. They go, oh, I didn't think about that. He'd be so screwed as like the guesser because someone would screw up.
He's got a
sometimes.
good point. You can't use actual symbols or words that are on the card.
Yeah.
So I couldn't do Weapon Master. I'd have
Sure.
to, do Psychopath 3.
Angry 3.
Yeah, and then you got Butcher, you got Doom Shaper,
Yeah.
Chromac. Sure, there's 3 nice angry ones.
Yeah.
I'm actually digging this, Travis. Well, it doesn't have to just be Warcasters, though. I don't know. Where was I going with? Oh, yeah, no, just like the analogy I always use is like if you're if you got the foot in the concrete.
Oh my God, we're still on death?
Yeah, obviously.
No.
So you got the foot in the concrete, and they're sealed in there. Like, this isn't just like a chain that you could
Just
pick.
a seal? Like,
Yeah. So there's
seal?
a seal inside the. It's actually Seal, the singer, is in the concrete, holding onto your feet. No,
Kiss
so it's
to a
not just like a
rose?
chain that you can slip out of. Like, your feet are infused into this concrete block,
Mm-hmm.
and you get thrown over a boat, and you sink to the bottom, and you're holding your breath, but you got like 30 seconds of breath holding left in you, and then you're just fucked. You got 30 more seconds of life, and then you're dead. For those 30 seconds, you're going to be pretty terrified of the fact that in now 29, now 28, now 27 seconds, you are dead. Well, that's just what I do now. I just don't know how long it's going to be. Like, right now is no different.
Yeah, exactly.
Whether
Where'd
it's
you
50
start
years,
the countdown at? What number are you at?
I could have an aneurysm in 4 seconds. There's nothing I can do about it. Or I can live to be 80. Whether I do an aneurysm in 4 seconds or live to be 80, I'm gonna fucking die, and it's unavoidable, just like the concrete drowning.
Yeah.
And I don't get how people, like, why isn't he terrified?
I'm
Right?
terrified.
How does he sleep?
I might throw up right now.
Right?
But see, there's this magical place called heaven, and it'll be all right.
Sky cake. What? Sky cake. You know Patton Oswalt. You haven't heard his whole thing about sky cake?
No.
He's like, so people were sad, and they were beating each other up. And then a guy invented religion because he said, hey, listen, if you stop raping and murdering and stealing, when you die, you'll get cake. You'll go up into the sky and you'll get cake. And they're like, oh, this is great. This is great. And they all get happy and they all get wonderful and they're doing great. And then they go and they sail across the sea and they get to another landmass and they meet people like, hey, how's it going? Hey, how you doing? And they talk a little while and they're like, hey, so have you guys heard about the sky cake? And they go, it's pie, fuckers. And then they kill each other. And that's humanity.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's so sad and amazing. Oh, we're all gonna die.
Travis said, fuck heaven and religion, so I'll tell a good codename story because I'll tie all this in together. My brother was telling me about one of his favorite codename wins he had, which is that, I told this to the Shades, they were less amused, but that's okay. He clued Christianity 3,
Okay.
and his wife got it with a cross, fish, and disease. They're like, yeah, organized religion is a disease. So that was the success. And Katie's like, well, maybe you mean like curing lepers? I'm like, no, they just hate Christianity.
It's funny. You know, I didn't actually hate religion that much until I met more religious people.
Like, it's fine, like, as a hobby.
Yeah.
You know, I probably would be okay with religion if it wasn't for super psychotic far right wing, like, you know, gays can't marry.
If it wasn't like the reason people kill each other.
Like, I go to church on Easter, and Jesus is a good guy. Hooray
There's
for
a lot
him,
of really
you
good
know?
family values you get
Yeah.
from churches.
If it would actually literally practice what they preach.
Well, it's the great Gandhi quote that I will paraphrase because I don't remember the exact words, but it's just, I love Christianity. It's the Christians I don't care for as much.
Yeah,
You know?
Yep. No, it's the whole idea of helping your community, helping each other, to improve each other, to be better people.
Unless
That
you're-
is a great mantra to go for. It's just when you are consistently putting down other people
Sure.
and other things.
And in fairness, that's true no matter what religion you are. Like, if
Well,
you're
it
a
doesn't even
Muslim
have
or
to
a
be a
Jew
religion.
and you're shitting on people, you know, please stop.
It comes down to what we don't be a dick's philosophy.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
don't
it
be a
is.
dick.
Yeah, good old, don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick to thy neighbor.
All right. Anyway, we're all
That's,
gonna
yeah,
die.
yeah, that was, yes, so that's, yeah.
We should probably get off that topic. We probably
Yeah,
lost
we already said religion sucked for the last 10 minutes. That's probably a bad move.
probably. I apologize to those of you religious.
Ah, there we go. Tord actually.
There you go. I like your Christ. I do not like your Christians. Your Christians are so unlike your Christ.
That was actually used in Kingdom of Heaven.
Sure. Yeah.
Is that exact quote? I remember that specifically from one of the
That one guy, yeah.
quote unquote the bad guys.
Ridley
Okay.
Scott.
Ridley Scott said that. Yes.
Yeah.
No, I cannot think of the
Ridley Scott is the villain of any Ridley Scott
Persians,
movie.
The Persians that were there.
Yeah.
They're the ones who took.
Yeah.
Fuck if I.
Leonidas.
I'm horrible.
Xerxes.
Xerxes. Was he riding a rhino?
Yeah.
Leonidas charged the gates.
Not Xerxes?
And then Goliath stopped him.
Remember how we were supposed to root for the Athenians
and
in
they got him
302?
And then he got him in the Achilles heel.
Let's not go over the details of that. We always get in trouble, but holy shit, we were supposed to root for the Greeks.
Yeah. No, I think that strike was something that was false. That wasn't meant to be on our. That I saw a lot of places got like content strikes like that. Around that same time.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. But anyway, quick recommendation before we jump over.
Zappities? No, recommendations are actual after Zappities.
Oh, we have
Do the Zappities.
We don't know how to run our podcast anymore. We
shit.
We just need to Skype in Tort, and he can talk for us.
He's Australian. He'd be all like, "Good day, Bugle," and nobody would know.
I'm pretty sure if we got someone with if we got an Australian accent in person on our podcast, the quality of our podcast would go up by 84%.
That's probably true.
I'm working on getting the stuff set up for doing Skype.
It'd be
in
great
fairness to Australia, I saw pictures of their possums,
yeah.
and they got the better deal on the possum end of things. Like, they have death spiders and snakes and box jellyfish and shit, but their possums are adorable. They aren't shrieking knife-toothed monsters like ours.
I like our possums.
They're fine.
They're kind of adorable.
In a shrieking knife-toothed monster kind of way.
Yeah.
Their possums are just straight up adorable.
Baby possums are actually
like, they got, like, red pandas that they call possums. Like, they're that adorable.
Oh, Jesus Christ. So the only Zappity Grumble that I see here, unless there's something on Twitter, John Compton asks, is there any update on the ATC Kickstarter?
Yes, I'm sorry. I'll post something on the Kickstarter today, which is that so we have all the prizes from Muse on Minis that we received. I received the pint glasses, and they look like shit, so I'm seeing about doing an exchange to get them redone, because I'm very disappointed in the quality of the pint glasses. The dice are on order. The patches are currently, the patch company is redesigning our logo because it has too many colors and shades to be a patch. So their in-house people are simplifying it so that it can be stitched, but those should be really quick afterwards. And then the same thing is happening with the coins. And so I hope to have all of those prizes back. Like the patches, I thought that their in-house work would be done by now. They said like 3 to 5 days, and that was like 2 weeks ago.
Was that the same place I sent you a link to, or was that somebody different?
I don't know because I didn't use your link at all. I just found one online, so it may have coincidentally been your link. I forgot patches? You sent me a link. I don't know. Oh. I'd have to check my email. But they're working on artwork, and I should contact her tomorrow and see where they are because it should have been done by now.
Really? Because the artwork I got from the place I did, they had it shipped to me like the next day.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like I haven't seen, so I need to call and email and see because maybe they tried contacting me and I just missed it, but I don't. But the point is, so I have all the War Machine-based stuff because that all came from Muse, and it all looks great. The glasses look like shit, so I'm going to see about getting them redone. Patches and coins are currently under artwork revisions in the places that we'll be making them, so they'll be quick once those are done, and dice are on order. So,
are you trying to scroll through Twitter?
No, I'm trying to find an image or something.
All right. So, and then Zappity. I don't see if you have anything else.
No, that's it.
Zappity Grumble. Tord asks if do I have enough time to make coffee before this starts?
Probably. Well, not now.
Yeah.
Now you don't.
We've already started, so that's...
Well, if time's cyclical, he has a lot of time until it starts again.
Yeah, if you're going to make coffee before this upcoming week's podcast...
No, the current one, I mean.
This podcast.
Yeah, if he wants to make coffee before the start of this podcast and time is cyclical, he has almost the entire age of the universe to make coffee before this exact podcast happens again.
What is cyclical?
It's circle.
Oh. Why do you say circular-ish?
Circular.
It's a cycle. It's cyclical.
I have pronunciation problems. I can't even pronounce my recommendation.
Fair.
All right. Zappity, Grumble. That's it. That's all I got. So we got recommendations. Yep. I have one very out-of-date recommendation. I have been enjoying it. I avoided it after I saw the first pilot and the second pilot. I kind of like Legends of Tomorrow.
I've watched all of season 1.
Yeah, I'm about halfway through it.
Watching it together is binging is probably better. But I felt for a show that's supposed to be about doing one specific thing, there was too many filler episodes, and I like a lot of his standalone. And ironically, I find some of the standalone stuff to be the most enjoyable. Mm-hmm. I found the villain to be exceptionally weak.
Oh yeah, he's horrible.
And they can't kill the villain. The villain's an unkillable guy. There's only like a very specific scenario you can kill him.
Yeah.
So they defeat him like 7-8 times during the season, but we can't kill him, so they just like
Finish him off,
You
yeah.
can't finish him off, so it's like they beat him and knock him down, and they just leave. Well, I can't kill him, so let's go.
You could put him in like a steel box and chain it shut.
Yeah, you get him, you put him in a box. Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of things you could do once you defeat him. You can't kill him, but you can pour him in concrete and seal that in the under a million things.
Like one of the it's very early in the season too. Like one of the first times that they actually do kill him, or quote unquote kill him, it's the death of one of their own characters.
Yeah.
But they know. Oh no! I guess he took it to his grave. He didn't really take it to his grave. He could have just fucking said it. I don't understand this now. I hate the show.
But there's some good. The characters are pretty interesting, but it's a classic example. There's multiple times in the show where characters have problems created solely by them. It's not the environment causing the problems. That's why I stopped watching Fear the Walking Dead, because Fear the Walking Dead there should be other people causing troubles. There should be zombies causing troubles. Trouble shouldn't
people being stupid.
It shouldn't be all the troubles, because you could have smart people still lose in that kind of world because of trouble.
It's getting better in that regards because it's just more about the apocalypse and less about them being stupid.
Which is helpful.
But then that's just Walking Dead.
But that's fine too.
But it's Walking Dead in a boat, so it's okay.
It's Walking Dead in Mexico.
Yeah.
Wasn't the gimmick of Fear the Walking Dead supposed to be that it was prior to / during the apocalypse as opposed to after? And that kind of is a limited thing because the apocalypse...
It
just
came
starts during...
very quickly. It comes at the right as people are starting to turn.
Which is a shame because but like now like they've turned, right? Like so now it's basically post-apocalypse.
Now
the
it's
government's
basically
still
Walking Dead.
fighting.
No,
Or the government's fallen. So that's my point, is that I would have liked it more.
Well,
if you ever read World War Z, not the Brad Pitt Liquid Zombies version, but the book, there's a lot of the world hasn't fallen, and here's how the American government and basic different African governments or the German government and it looks at all these different governments, shows how they handled fighting against the collapse. What they did militarily and scientifically and economically and politically to protect themselves from the currently happening spread of zombies. That's interesting.
They kind of talk about that too. We do see in Fear the Walking Dead a lot of the actions of basically the government shutting down like San Diego, burning it to the ground, et cetera, et cetera. We see all that, but they were on an escape to go to meet up with somebody down in Mexico. And, well, I assume Mexican government didn't have the biggest plan for something in place. So what could be happening in the U.S. now, which it seems like they're kind of trying to go to that right now. There's a couple of the groups split off and going to the U.S., I think. And it could just be under, like, total war.
Well, because the thing is, with World War Z, the big difference with it that was unique versus most of these things is that they were mostly successful. Like, 20% of America falls. They lose, like, okay, so Chicago was fucked and we lose half of this and that, whatever, but we contained it and we fought back and
well, that's more realistic, I think.
And so it was interesting and unique as opposed to just magically the entire government falls and every city turns to zombies all at the same time. There would be losses, and so the interesting thing is seeing how they do it. Like the really interesting chapter to me was the Africa one, where a bunch of the governments got together and we have a plan, and the plan was basically they lured all the zombies to sacrificial cities. They're like, if we can just put all of them in one spot, those cities are fucked, but 95% of us are fine. And it's like, whoa, that's really, really terrible, but it also saved 95%, so that's interesting. And then the America's more like talking about conventional warfare, and, explosives and fire are really useless against zombies. Like, they would not give two shits about a grenade.
No, but I mean, unless you did something to their head is basically the big thing.
But like a grenade doesn't kill you by making your head explode. It kills you by having the concussive blast,
Correct, and zombies don't care about missing limbs.
Yeah, they don't care being on fire. Like fire, if you set a body on fire, like they die from pain and shock. They don't die from the meat ceasing to be usable. Like a zombie could probably be on fire for 12 fucking hours before it actually fell apart. And so there's a great chapter where the Battle of New York, which is them like trying to use bombs and grenades and flamethrowers, and the zombies are like, don't care, and just murder everybody.
And that's the tomorrow movie show.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, I just wish I was
It's
hopeful
some
that
cool
Fear the
actors.
Walking Dead would be more like, zombies here. You
Yeah.
know, and as opposed to post-apocalyptic zombie. And I think it changed from that promise into just being The Walking Dead rather quickly.
I think that was my fault. I brought up Fear the Walking Dead instead of the Legends of Tomorrow.
Legends is. I mean, it's. I like it so far. I mean, it's fine.
I like some of the actors quite a bit on that show.
Yep. But the main thing I do have a trouble with is, it's spoiler or whatever. You find out that the main villain can only be killed by their hawk girl stabbing him with said ceremonial knife.
Correct.
That's the only way that he could be killed.
It has to be Hawk Girl.
Has to be hawk girl.
With
She has
knife
to do it
in
with the knife.
in the library.
Yeah. But thing is though, so Hawkman goes and he stabs the big bad guy.
No, not Hawkman.
Hawkman.
No.
Then that's when it's revealed, is when he stabs him and he's like, "Oh, too bad. Your lover must do this," which is Hawk Girl, and then stabs him, so he dies. But he doesn't die right away. He just fails to, I assume, pass that information on to the team for the rest of the
You might want to share that info.
That would be the first thing I do. Tell him, it's like, "Oh, I'm dying. I'm so bad. But by the way, you have to stab him."
They do much worse dumb things, but it's. But I like Superman in it,
I haven't seen Superman in it yet,
and I
I'm
love
not
the
close to-
British guy. They have what's the name from Doctor Who in it, which is hilarious.
I don't know. Don't know who
Amy's
it is.
husband, Rory.
Rory,
Rory's
sure.
a time travel. He's a time traveling British guy who comes for him.
Okay.
They don't make one goddamn Doctor Who reference in the entire show, and that's why I couldn't rate it higher. I just wanted one fucking Doctor Who reference, and I might have missed it, but I swear to fucking God, there wasn't one fucking Doctor Who reference in Legends of Tomorrow. And how do you not have Rory as a time traveler and not just like drop one fucking reference as like a gimmick and move on?
Yeah, you can even just have them go, "Who?" and then just wink at the camera.
Yeah, or
and
something.
then roll credits.
They have plenty because they had plenty of little nods at other things.
But it was sitting on my DVR. It was literally the last thing on my DVR. It had about 17 episodes stuck on it, and I'm like, I'm just playing WoW. I can watch this in the background and play WoW. So I've been playing a lot of WoW. So
By the way, spoiler alert for Legends of Tomorrow.
oh yeah, there's an episode with the guy from Doctor Who.
No, Hawkman fucking dies.
Oh yeah, yeah. Hawkman dies.
They time travel, so if someone dies, you can
Okay,
visit
fair
them.
enough.
So he has died. So who knows? He might come back. Well, spoiler alert. Also, Hawkman and Hawkgirl, they've died like about 200 times from this guy as well.
Oh, okay. Well, fine
So
then.
it's not like it's.
That's how the main
It's a
guy
big
villain. He regenerates by consuming them.
Okay. his main form of nourishment is just hawk people.
Yes, he is. Yeah, they are the stupidest gods ever. Those two. Those two are the worst.
You know, you're in the middle of recommending this show, right?
Yeah, I am. But it's like the Flash, though. I mean,
is not like The Flash.
Flash is so infinitely better than this show, but it's in that same vein where it's comic stupidity that I can get past. You know, it's
Sure.
there to entertain me. It's like wrestling. I can watch wrestling. They'll do stupid fucking things in it. They'll be like, why is this person not in jail and forever? You know, et cetera, et cetera. But Legends of Tomorrow, it's quirky and stupid and fun.
All right,
That's my recommendation.
I'm gonna recommend
That's
something
the
next.
longest fucking recommendation I've ever had.
Yeah.
I
it is.
think it's Halcyon 6. I think I pronounced it Halcyon.
Yeah. Halicon?
Halicon. Hey, it's
Well,
a
Halcyon would be Halcyon, and that's Halcyon.
I'm not a huge fan of roguelikes. FTL is a roguelike game, right?
Yes.
So this is basically, people have described this game as FTL meets XCOM as far as like base building and things.
Shut up! I need to go play it.
It was a Kickstarter that was in Steam early release for a while. It got full released on Friday, and I saw a bunch of positive reviews. And I'm like, well, I'm just not. I never get pulled into roguelikes, but I downloaded it yesterday, and I put a couple hours into it today, and it's pretty awesome. I mean, it's just like FTL graphic wise, but you build up a station. You build up one station, you build up a bunch of ships. You get a bunch of recruits, and it's like the XCOM base. If the XCOM base was like 5,000 things you could upgrade into it.
And that's out.
And then your captains,
like on Steam or something.
Then you can upgrade it. All your characters can skill up, and you can get all these different ships. It's on sale for like $16 right now.
All right, well, I guess I'll go buy that then.
I thought you might have actually
Fuck you.
gotten it already. So I figured if you haven't, you would get it. So
Meanwhile, I'm going to recommend something that's free.
all right,
Jerks.
But yeah. So if you
Mine
like
is free.
if you like XCOM and FTL
You have to
and you
watch
like games, get it.
You need to get like a Hulu subscription or something.
I think all CW shows are on Netflix now.
Is
I think,
Netflix
like,
free now?
No, but
Oh, so
Yeah,
it turns out you're a liar.
you could probably get it free for a month.
Yeah,
That's probably
Netflix.
true.
Yeah,
Anyway,
suck it.
You win. Space Team. You played Space Team?
no.
Okay, we're gonna play Space Team after this is over. But
No.
it's free. It's an app you on your phone, and the game takes literally 5 minutes to
Oh,
play.
is this the one with the Helm Navigator captain?
Well, no, because there's no like really position. Like you each have random buttons on your phone, like 6 to 12 or whatever, or your tablet or whatever, and then you shit happens. So on your screen, like I might have a thing to like flush coolant and this and that or whatever.
I typed Space Tram. It was different.
And on your screen, while shit's going down and the ship's taking damage, like something will pop up that says, like flush coolant. And if I have it on my screen, I just do it. But if it's not on my screen, I need to start showing Andy, Brian, flush the coolant. One of you needs to flush the coolant. And you guys have to find it on your screen. But meanwhile, your screens are telling you shit that needs to be done that might be on my screen. And so we're all just shouting at each other things that need to be done while the ship's exploding and everything's dying.
I've heard of this game before.
Hey,
Yep.
it's completely free. So everyone should get it on their phone so that we can always play it at the drop of a hat at any convention / in between games at a tournament / whatever.
It has in-app purchases.
You can buy. I didn't even look at the in-app purchases. I think you can get
I bought 4 of them already.
different costumes for your character, and you don't even see your character. It's just on the menu when you
Have
join
you
the
met
game.
me?
Like, yeah, see, you before you join the game, there's a little icon that's randomly generated, and you never see it during the game. So who cares? But yeah, you're right. We should probably play Space Team live on air at some point in time. If they already had it downloaded, I would say we should do it
We'll
right
do
now.
it next week.
But
Mine's on and ready to go.
oh, perfect. I'm gonna get on Space Team right now. You should download Space Team.
I was going to show you how obnoxious the necromantic team is for the Blood Bowl 2,
But that's not.
which is a shot of he's wearing the face grid just as a face grid.
He says it on his face.
Just on his face. He has no helmet. He just has the face grip there. That and
Oh, my phone's in the car. You download Space Team while I go get my phone.
no.
What?
You're the
We'll
one
do
who
it
wants
next-
to.
we'll do
You're
it next
the
week.
one
You
who wants
like
to-
random
You're
chaos?
the like.
We'll do it next
I
week.
am actually willing to do a random dumb thing.
You love random dumb things. I'm gonna go get my
Next
phone.
week.
You download Space Team.
Next week
You-
we are. So much time.
What are we at? Like an hour and 20? That's nothing. We'll be done by an hour 45. I'm gonna go get my phone.
I'm playing by myself. It's not working.
Oh my god.
So it's not happening.
This is
Hi,
taking
everybody.
Way too long.
So another announcement. I think the late October I'll be doing a Scorn episode with hopefully a special guest from St. Louis will be joining me, and we'll discuss Scorn. And Tort will be there because he should be there because Tort needs to be there as our international fan of chatting. And he's quiet now.
I'm quiet because you're making me download this goddamn game.
You can download. It doesn't. You can talk and download a game.
I can't talk and download a game. I mean, it's 56 megabytes. I mean, we're interfering with the stream right now.
Well, our listeners are enjoying this moment of us just chatting, and we're having fun. And if non-Euclidean, we should have people in the chat download it as well. Although they can't really. It'll be early. Actually, it might be. We might do it Friday night. The Scorn, because he wants to. So Josh is coming in to do that. He's gonna come on Friday night, and he's gonna come for the tournament on Saturday. So we're gonna start I was gonna talk to you about maybe starting like at 4ish or 5ish, and this going from then until whenever.
Which Wi-Fi is you?
It's TDS something.
TDS 314.
Okay. I know your password, so.
The
I think we
Steam
have to be on
game
the
was
same
Halcyon 6. It should be on the front of Steam. And again, it's like Halcyon 6. It's literally FTL and XCOM.
Forgot to mention, Thursday this week, I'm going to make Nathan commit to this now, is that we're going to be playing a game live on Steam.
I'm
It's a
90%
surprise.
sure I'll be able to do that.
It's a surprise game, and he doesn't know about it, but I know about it.
I know about it.
Are you on Andy's Wi-Fi? Because I think we have to be on the same Wi-Fi.
I'm on the Wi-Fi. I'm always on the
Okay.
Wi-Fi wherever I go. I hack into every Wi-Fi I'm near. We're waiting for Andy. Andy has to get in.
That's okay. He can join up.
Oh god.
Here we go, people. We're playing a game
We're gonna
live
play Space
on
Team
air.
live on air.
All right.
Is that you? Do you have pink? Yes. Okay. Brian and I are in the room together.
I don't. Do I have to just hit play?
You rotate the dial up to play.
We're on a wait. It says waiting room, and I have.
Yeah, we're in the waiting room.
Now we hit the button.
I don't like my
push the green
avatar.
button.
Push.
I'm
Push
still
the green button.
loading.
Oh, Andy's still loading. But once Andy gets here,
Here
we
we go.
hold the
people.
green button and
Can
join
I be a
it.
different avatar?
Yeah, it doesn't
Just-
matter.
just-
Push the green button. There we go. Off we go.
Here we go.
So I'll tell you shit that has to happen. I'll tell you most things you just do the levers. Asteroids we have to turn to. Whatever. Fuck it. I'll tell you what to do.
All right,
I'm turning my phone all the way
We're
up
in
for
sector 1.
this. This is great for the audio podcast. By the way.
Trust me, in about 2 seconds it's gonna be great.
And if it's not, it's all Nathan's fault.
It's all my fault, and that's okay. And they can just watch us on video. Okay.
Well,
Prepare to
there-
receive instructions.
All right.
All right.
Inject U-Hub. What?
Got it.
Activate terrarium.
Tolbib. Somebody has to do the
Freeze flux claw. Somebody needs to freeze a flux claw.
Activate terrarium. Somebody's got
Terraram?
the-
Terraram? Yep, I got the
Terran.
Terraram. Somebody needs to freeze a flux claw.
Flux Claw. I don't have a Flux.
Oh,
Do you have
that's
a flux?
me.
Yeah, okay.
Cycle Moon Grid.
Inject hoot hub.
Turn on quad cloud?
A Moon Grid.
Quad cloud. Somebody got a quad
Expel
cloud?
topid.
Yep.
There we go. See?
We're in
Got
sector
through the first sector already.
I don't like this game.
By the way, chunks of your ship are going to start falling off.
Repair to receive.
Okay.
Discourage
Revive
mutiny.
jam.
Wait, what?
By chain.
By chain,
Reboot.
got it. Somebody needs
Set
to discourage
ion switch
mutiny.
to 3.
Heavy scale.
Ion
What?
switch to 3.
Ion switch to 3.
Discourage mutiny? Does somebody have a mutiny discouragement
I do
button?
not have any kind
Somebody
of...
needs to
Heavy
discourage
scale.
mutiny.
Reboot by
Oh,
chain.
that's me.
Reboot by
Proto
chain.
laser.
By chain.
By chain, got by chain. Tow chain to 2.
Proto laser. Enable.
Flow fluid to 3. Oh, I guess me.
Mine says flow fluid to 1.
Discourage mutiny.
Proto laser.
Somebody needs to discourage a mutiny. Does somebody have a mutiny discouragement thing?
Oh, yeah, I do.
Oh, there you go. All right,
Set
flow
meteor
fluid to
2
1.
ship to 2.
Meteor douche chip set
pump
to 2.
high, pump higher
Set
scale.
fluid to 1.
Discourage mutiny again.
Flow fluid to 1. Hump
Yep.
hump scale to hump scale.
Hump scale.
Pump
What?
your hump scale and discourage mutiny, Andy. They keep trying to mutiny. There you go.
Bind Hawking Cap.
Reboot by
Drain
chain.
hex tank.
Oh, I got the by chain.
Hawking Cap.
Flow fluid to 0.
Flow fluid to 0.
Decrease meteor just shoot to 1.
Spin lift pusher.
Spin lift.
Cool hooks
Done.
tank.
Got hex king cooled.
All right.
There we go.
One of my things is falling off.
Yeah, that happens. You can try to put them back on,
Oh.
but yeah.
Oh my god, things just moved around.
Yeah, okay.
This is different now.
Yes, it's different.
Set auto swarm to 1.
Got it. Enable sub-alarm.
Engage
Return
star
li-
vacuum.
What?
Start.
Starva vacuum.
Somebody got a sub-alarm?
Return library
Sub-alarm.
books.
Return library book.
Return library books.
Dilute plasma hoist.
Star vacuum.
Engage
Enable
star vac.
sub-alarm.
What? Oh my.
Sub-alarm.
I don't have a sub
Oh, I've
alarm.
got a star
Engage.
Plasma hoist.
Disengage star vacuum.
Set. No plasma hoist. Expel L loop.
vacuum.
What?
My
L
sync
loop?
fell. Hold on.
Disengage star vacuum.
Where's my star vacuum?
Octaclaw to 3.
Oh my
Enable
god.
forwarding.
Enable forwarding.
I have 4 ring.
Disable
Expel
sub.
I loop.
Disable sub alarm.
Plunge pro rack.
Expel
Oh, I have
L
pro
loop.
rack. Auto swarm to 5. That's me. Disable sub alarm.
Set Terra device to 3.
Tear device to 3. Decrease
Everybody
auto.
shake.
Oh yeah, shake the phone with an asteroid.
Oh my god.
We're safe.
All right. Activate,
Plunge pro brake.
Auto swarm to 5.
Activate fuse belt.
I got
Fuse
it.
belt.
I got it. Pro brake. Turn on infrared jig.
Plunge pro rack.
H pocket to 1.
H pocket.
Asteroid. Everybody shake.
Asteroid.
Plunge pro
Shake
rack.
your phone, Andy. There's an
No,
asteroid.
Asteroid. Everybody shake.
Deactivate fuse belt.
Fuse belt deactivate. No, I
I got
was my 4 ring.
We're safe.
Dilute plasma hoist.
Plunge pro rack.
Dilute plasma hoist. Where's
Plunge the pro rack.
Somebody plunge a pro rack. Oh, I have pro rack. Fuck. Stop moving.
Decrease high pocket to 0.
H pocket to 2.
H pocket.
enable forwarding.
4 ring enabled.
Enable sub alarm.
Plunge pro rack.
Got it. Octaclaw to 2.
Set
Octa-
turret
Octaclaw
device
to 2.
1.
We hi- We just
I'm not very good at this.
Nobody's very good at this game.
we're in sector.
Oh my god, there's lighting.
Turn on hydraulic lens.
Got it. S systems to 1.
Expel
Set
cargo
macrophaser
pen.
to 1.
Macrophaser set to 1. Got it. Set S system to 1.
S system to 2.
Enable fuel vortex.
Turn on fuel vortex.
Yep.
Turn on
got the
disable
flux vortex.
disable fuel vortex.
Asteroid, everyone shake.
Ah.
All right.
Turn on flux fork.
Got it. Quadruprism to 2.
Engage Octoblade.
Quadruprism to 2. Quadprism to 1.
Engage Loop Lane.
I don't have a loop.
Lane. I got it. Activate pet block.
Prism to 2, you said?
Activate pet block.
Disengage Octoblade.
Oh shit! Get back on the screen. Spark fold
Turn-
pad. Spark the fold pad.
Oh,
Turn off hydraulic. Turn off hydraulic
disengage
lens.
Octoblade.
Set quad prism to 1.
Turn on flux fork. All right, that
Flux
flux.
fork again?
Yeah.
Jesus fucking.
Turn
flux
off
fork.
hydraulic lens.
Got it.
The S system is in the way of my
Yeah.
quad prism.
We're on sector 5. See, we're great at this game.
See, we're doing great. We're on sector 5 already. We're kicking ass and taking. Oh, there's goo in my way. You can wipe the goo away, by the way.
Set pan stick to 2.
Mine says pan stick to 1.
Engage Bulb Radio.
I have none of those things.
Oh, that's me.
Pan stick to 1.
Asteroid, everyone
Oh.
shake. Engage Zero Quartz.
Disengage bull break.
Where's Bulb
Get
Break?
on there. Decrease speed infra flip to 1.
What?
Do
Engage
it.
Zero Quartz.
Wormhole,
Set
everybody
V-Layer
turn their
to
phone
1.
upside down.
Upside down. Oh.
All right. Engage zero
First try
quotes.
room.
Set speed in for trapped 0.
Zero quotes? Anybody got a zero quote?
Asteroids, everybody
Rush
shake.
tri-boom.
Asteroids.
Brush Tri Room.
Tri-broom?
I got to activate micro bowl.
Asteroid, everyone shake.
Jesus Christ, how many asteroids are there?
Set V layer to 3.
Infra flip to
Pan
2.
Sec to 3.
Pansec to 3? I don't have any of
Set
that
V
shit.
layer to decrease pan stick to 0.
I have a zero lock. I have a
Deactivate
vaporizer.
micro-
Brush tribune. Micro bowl. Yeah. What? Deactivate it. Okay.
Yeah.
V layer to 1.
Pump. Cooling Hydro. Oh, pump. There we go. That's me.
Disengage.
Set to 2.
Disengage bulb radio.
Bulb radio. I have a bulb bell.
Got it.
That's already at 0.
Bulb
Active-
Bell to 2.
Bulb bell to 2. Got it.
Reboot cooling
Set
hydrant.
Vaporizer to 2.
What?
What to 2?
Vaporizer.
I don't have a... Oh, vaporizer to 2. Shit. Got it.
Reboot cooling hydrant.
Ryo screen.
Engage bulb radio.
Wormhole. Everybody flip.
We're upside down. Safe. Flux 2.
Increase infrared flap speed to 1.
Disengage Zero Quartz.
Engage bull break.
Bulb break. Brush tri boom. Brush tri.
Turn on.
Deactivate micro bowl.
Sex Flux 2 Bath.
Turn on positive vector.
I think that's this lever. I can't read it.
Activate micro bowl. That's me.
Micro Bowl.
Okay.
Reboot
Turn off
cooling
positive
Zero
vector.
Lock to 3.
Zero lock set to 3. I think.
Turn off positive.
Asteroid.
Lock to 1.
Asteroid.
This is.
Wormhole. Everybody flip.
Flip it.
Oh,
There's a lot of smoke.
Upside
There's a
down.
lot of smoke.
Oh, yeah, bulb radio. I think. Oh, fuck.
We exploded.
Which is good.
All right.
We get prizes. Let's see what prize you got. I have been posthumously awarded a medal for my confidence.
My commanding voice.
What'd you get, Andy?
Wheaton Stein of Awesome.
You got the Wheaton Stein of Awesome?
I did.
We were Sector 5. We were 8 out of 8 asteroids avoided. 3 out of 3 wormholes avoided. 40 unnecessary changes. Yep.
Near death saves 5. All right, there we go.
So that's Space Team, and it's free, and everybody should fucking have
How
it.
often do we recommend something and then actually do the recommendation?
I think that's the first time, apart from the time that Mr. Bucket recommended masturbation because he was masturbating at the time.
That is true.
That's it. That's all I got.
I should also recommend you check out your local Kickstarter for Titanic versus Iceberg.
It's going to be huge. Bigger than the Badger Blaster.
Bigger than Titanic 2.
Wait.
Oh, we...